All right, Evan, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. So market's scratching out a nice gain today. S&P up 0.85% here. NASDAQ just under 1%, and the Dow up about 0.5%. Russell recouping some of yesterday's losses here as the IWM is up almost 2% here. So nice pullback there the last couple of days on the Russell. And the Russell is getting a nice bounce here, so we'll continue to watch that. One of the telltale signals here that we were going to be higher here, especially in tech land, is we see the semiconductor. So we had a nice gap up here on the semis and really just attacked those highs. Remember I talked about this weekly area here of resistance, and we weren't able to get through those highs, and we did roll over a little bit, but much stronger, more robust price action. You see the steepness of this angle on the semis, and that told you that there was going to be, a continued buying pressure in tech. And we also, we have obviously Amazon and Apple here reporting after the bell. Apple usually reports around 4:30, so a little bit later. But nice consolidation pattern here intraday on Apple. This could be a trade that you could take to the long side if it weren't for earnings. As we know, anything can happen into earnings. Amazon coming back in a little bit here before the close. It close about in 7 or 8 minutes here. And Tesla higher a little bit today, although kind of just stuck in this range. So that is helping the Qs out. But again, all this action in the Qs can be erased if the market does not like Apple or Amazon's earnings. MasterCard, for instance, they did not like MasterCard getting crushed. Visa also taking a huge hit. The key weekly level here for me on Visa is 216.31. And it looks like at this point, unless we get a major rally tomorrow, that will not hold. So that would take out your inside bar there on Visa. So the credit card company is not receiving a nice reaction to earnings here. Let's check AXP. AXP is still near the highs, but dumping out in sympathy here. So credit card companies are weak right now. But again, on an intraday basis, semiconductors were leading, and they are hammering on this weekly resistance. So if they start to consolidate sideways, they can break higher. Now the semis have not made new all-time highs, whereas the S&P has and the triple Qs have. So that is something to keep an eye on, as semis are a leading indicator. Speaking of, Dow Transport's now pulling back as well. They have not made new all-time highs either, but they have been on fire lately. So we'll continue to respect them, but they are very overbought in the near term. Look how extended from that 20 moving average they are on the transports there. Moving on here, let's talk about yields. So yields are higher and tech is still higher today. So again, this correlation's been kind of choppy lately. Now a lot of that may have to do with earnings and just speculation and call buying and whatnot going into that. So that could be the reason for tech being higher right now, despite the higher yield. But more importantly, today we had a slight inversion in the yield curve. We had the 30-year actually yielding less than the 20-year. Very briefly, it flattened out pretty much immediately, but it did happen. So the 30-year, which has been weaker than the 10-year, did invert the 20-year. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Let's not make too much out of it for one day, but definitely a shaky sign to say the least. Let's move on here to the dollar index. So dollar taking a hit today also, but it is holding support. Really the level I'm watching here is the yellow line, which would be your inside bar low. And if you close above that, or excuse me, you close below that tomorrow, that could indicate further weakness in the dollar. But if that holds up, this inside bar is still valid. And that's really what you have to watch for on the dollar. If it does fail, we'd probably come back down and test this trend line here. Maybe you get some support at the 100 moving average there. So that would be your downside target there on the dollar index. And of course, gold having a decent day as well, kind of just chopping around. The GLD is basically flat to positive there. But gold kind of holding up. And again, I do like the consolidation pattern I'm seeing on silver as well. So again, if the metals can start, consolidating and backing and filling a little bit, they can attack these red bars here. This big red bar here at 1830. And then we've been talking about the weekly resistance here on gold at about 1811. That high can get taken out. If we take that out tomorrow by a close, gold will go a lot higher. So keep that on your radar. And then let's take a look at energy really quick before we wrap this up. So crude bouncing off the 20 moving average. Again, I said I never really got a major sell signal here at the 85 hit. It was short-term resistance. It has pulled back, now getting a bounce up to 20. So crude still holding up okay. There's nothing really wrong going on right now. Nat gas did come in a little bit. So I think that, again, that's going to have to do some backing and filling if it's going to push through 650. That's going to be some major resistance. It's going to have to go sideways and take out some of those sellers before it can do that. But energy, again, still holding up okay. XLE pulling back and getting a nice bounce. Same thing with XOP and OIH. However, remember, tomorrow, I believe, both Chevron and Exxon, I think they report before the open tomorrow morning. So that will be on deck, and that can obviously move the XLE. I mean, if the market doesn't like their earnings, XLE can take a big hit. Or if it likes their earnings, they can, XLE can make a huge pop. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, those companies reporting tomorrow. JP Morgan getting a nice little bid here into the close here. Again, XLF higher with the higher yield. So that is not unexpected. And same thing with the IWM, just tech diverging really from that today. Spider's getting a nice pop here into the close. So we're going to make a new all-time high, all-time closing high, it looks like, barring anything crazy in the next couple of minutes. And we're about 30 cents away on the Spiders. So they could easily push it up to an all-time closing high. But it's all going to depend on Apple and Amazon's earnings here. Semi's getting a bid as well. You see the Dow there. Look at Tesla even getting a little pop. So market's popping a little bit into the close. But again, we'll watch for those earnings and we'll see what the market does tomorrow. But anyways, guys, wrap it up here. Take care and have a great rest of your night.